students, welcome back to plus 1 chemistry classes where we were discussing about the chapter structure of atom. Today we will continue the Bohr theory of hydrogen atom, the postulates regarding the Bohr theory of hydrogen atom. The first postulate is the stationary states for electron are n equal to 1, 2, 3 and those integral numbers are called as principal quantum numbers. Okay, consider here this first shell is called as first principal quantum number, that is n equal to 1. Second level is n equal to 2, like that it goes. Okay, it will be integral numbers and are called as principal quantum numbers. Okay, that is having n equal to 1. We already studied about periods and group, isn't it? If it is having n equal to 1 as a principal quantum number, then the elements will be in the first group. If n is equal to 2, elements will be in the second group of the modern periodic table. This all we studied. Okay, the first postulate is the stationary states for the electron. Okay, stationary states for the electrons. Each states are called as principal quantum numbers or principal quantum levels, we can say, and it is denoted by the value n. The second postulate is the radii of the stationary states are expressed by the equation Rn is equal to n square a0. Rn is equal to, that is radius of the nth orbit is equal to n square a0. N square means each principal quantum number level. N equal to 1, n equal to 2, like that it goes. Integral numbers, where the A0 is a constant and is called what? And is the 52.9 picometer is the value of A0. 52.9 picometer is the value. And for the hydrogen atom, we already know that n equal to 1, isn't it? The radii of the first stationary state where n equal to 1, Rn will be what? 52.9 picometer, isn't it? Rn is equal to n square a0 is what we studied. If we substitute for n equal to 1, then Rn will be what? Equal to a0. A0 is what? 52.9 picometer. So the radius of the nth orbit, so radius of the hydrogen atom will be what? 52.9 picometer, and it is called what? The Bohr orbit. Okay, this Rn value 52.9 picometer is called as Bohr orbit, or the radius of the hydrogen atom. From this equation, it's clear that what? Radius of an orbit is directly proportional to the principal quantum number of that level, isn't it? Radius of an orbit is equal to, or it is proportional to what? Square of the principal quantum number, that is Rn is equal to n square a0, that is Rn is directly proportional to n. That is, as the n value increases, okay, as the principal quantum number increases, radius also increases, radius of the orbit also increases. That is, the electrons are present away from the nucleus. From this it is clear that away from the nucleus, only in the n equal to 1 level, the first electron will be present. That is, electrons are present away from the nucleus. These are the first two postulates of Bohr model for hydrogen atom. The third postulate is the energy of the stationary state. First we studied what are the energy levels with n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3 and n equal to 4. Then we studied the radius of each stationary states we studied. And next postulate is the energy of that stationary states. Okay. Energy of an nth state is denoted as En. And the equation to find the energy of a stationary state is minus RH into 1 by n square. For a hydrogen atom, the energy of the nth state is what? Minus RH into 1 by n square, where n can be 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. And this RH, okay, this constant RH is called as Rydberg constant and has the value minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule. This is the value of Rydberg constant. Okay, Rydberg constant minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule. This is the equation to find the energy of the nth state. Okay, if it is n equal to 1. Okay, if it is n equal to 1, then E1 is equal to minus RH into 1 by 1 square, which is equal to what? RH is minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule, isn't it? So the value will be what? Minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule will be the value of E1. If it is E2, then it is what? Minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 into 1 by 2 square. That is equal to, if we calculate this, we will get it as minus 0.545 into 10 power minus 0.545 into 10 power minus 18 joule will be the energy of second shell or second stationary orbit will have an energy of minus 0.545 into 10 power minus 18 joule. Okay, if we plot a graph or a energy level diagram with n equal to 1, n equal to 2, then you will get the hydrogen transition. Okay, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, we can draw the energy level diagrams. So the equation is what? Minus RH into 1 by n square. Okay, the value of minus RH is what? Minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule. And for the E1, the energy is minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule itself. And for E2, the value is what? Minus 0.545 into 10 power minus 18 joule. Energy is always negative here. Already we have calculated the energy value of the stationary state n equal to 1 and n equal to 2 according to Bohr model, isn't it? We got the E1 is equal to minus 2.18 and E2 is equal to minus 0.545. Both the values are what? Negative. So I am going to explain why the energy value is negative for a hydrogen atom. Okay, why energy value is coming as negative. Bohr considered what? Electron, if electron is in the free from the influence of nucleus, okay, electron is free from the influence of the nucleus, then the energy is considered as 0. Okay, energy is set as value 0. Electron that is free from the influence of nucleus is considered to have the energy 0, and that stationary level is considered as n is equal to infinity. Okay, n equal to infinity, and that energy of the electron in a free state or in the infinite state is considered to be 0, and that state is called as ionized hydrogen atom. Okay, if electron is free from the influence of the nucleus, we will consider the energy as 0. N in the infinite state, E infinity is equal to 0, and that hypothetical state is considered as what? Ionized hydrogen atom state. Okay, then when electron is under the influence of the nucleus, energy will be emitted, isn't it? Okay, when the electron is under the influence of the nucleus, in this case, what happens? Energy will be emitted. When electron is attracted by the nucleus, energy will be emitted and energy will be lowered. Okay, setting this infinite state energy is equal to 0. When the electron come in attraction with the nucleus, energy will be emitted. That means energy will be lowered. So from the 0 value of the energy is lowered, isn't it? So the energy value is considered, or we will get the energy value of the stationary states as negative. This is the reason why energy of the hydrogen atom is negative. The fourth postulate of Bohr model of hydrogen atom is Bohr theory applied to the ions containing only one hydrogen. Okay, not only to hydrogen atom, also for hydrogen-like species. That means for atoms containing only one electron, this Bohr theory can be applied. For example, hydrogen-like species means only having one electron. Helium plus lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus. These hydrogen-like species has only one electron in their orbit. So for hydrogen-like species, okay, or ions containing only one electron, the energy can be found with the equation En is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 into Z square by N square joule. Okay, this is the Rydberg constant value. Z square, Z value is the atomic number of the corresponding atom, and N is the level, stationary orbit level. Okay, nth level. N is the principal quantum number. Z is the atomic number. N is the principal quantum number of the level, and also minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 is what? The RH or the Rydberg constant. This is the equation finding the energy of hydrogen-like species. Okay, the Z value for helium will be what? Z for helium will be Z equal to 2. Atomic number. Lithium Z equal to 3. Like that. Z value will come. That is, energy will be directly proportional to Z. The energy value for hydrogen-like species will be directly proportional to Z square. This is one observation from this equation, and inversely proportional to the N square value. And the next one is the radius of hydrogen-like species. Okay, radius of hydrogen-like species can be obtained by the formula 52.9 picometer into N square by Z. Okay, the energy is directly proportional to Z square, while the radius of hydrogen-like species Rn is directly proportional to N square or N square by what? Z. It is inversely proportional to Z. So we already studied in the previous chapter that what? As the atomic number increases, radius of the atom decreases. Isn't it? Atomic radii decreases as the atomic radii decreases as the atomic number increases. Okay. This is from this equation. As the atomic number increases, the radius becomes smaller and smaller, while the energy increases. Okay, as the energy increases for hydrogen-like species, energy is directly proportional to Z square. As the atomic number increases, energy increases. That means energy become more and more negative, isn't it? Energy value is negative. We already studied in the last postulate. Energy value become more and more negative. That is, more interaction between the nucleus and the electron in the nth state. So it becomes, the radii becomes smaller and smaller due to more energy, more interaction between the nucleus and the electron. So energy will be directly proportional to atomic number. As the atomic number increases, energy increases, but the radius decreases. That is, radius is inversely proportional to the atomic number. These two inferences can be made from this postulate. That is, for hydrogen-like species, energy obtained from the equation minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 into Z square by N square joule. Z value is the atomic number, and radius Rn is equal to 52.9 into N square by Z. There is no Z square, okay, by Z picometer. So radius and energy depends upon the atomic number. The fifth postulate or the last postulate of Bohr theory of hydrogen atom is that he told that it is also possible. We already studied the energy. He postulated about what? The radius of the electron or the radius of the stationary state, and at last he told that it is also possible to find the velocity of an electron in a stationary state. But he couldn't define, or he couldn't give any equation. Okay, no equation was given. He told like it is also possible to calculate the velocity of electrons that is moving in the orbit, but he couldn't explain, or he couldn't give any equation for finding the velocity of an electron. Instead, he told that the magnitude of velocity of electron, the magnitude of velocity, okay, velocity of the electron will increase with the increase in positive charge of the nucleus. Okay, velocity of the electron will increases with the increase in positive charge of the nucleus, and the velocity decreases with increase in principal quantum number. He postulated that the velocity will increases with the increase in positive charge on the nucleus and it decreases with the increase in principal quantum number. That is, as the n value increases, the velocity decreases, and as the positive charge on the nucleus increases, velocity increases. Okay, these 5 postulates are the postulates of Bohr theory for hydrogen atom or for hydrogen-like species. Next, we will study about the drawbacks of the Bohr model for hydrogen atom. Main limitations of this model are, it violates Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Okay, Heisenberg is the name of a scientist. This Bohr theory of hydrogen atom violates Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Details about this principle we will study in the upcoming classes. Okay, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is violated by Bohr's hydrogen atom model. The next limitation is, the Bohr model only predicted about the spectra of what hydrogen-like species or for species having only one electron. It couldn't explain what about larger atoms. It could only explain about smaller atoms containing one electron, and higher or larger atoms spectra cannot be explained by Bohr model. This is the second limitation. Okay, about larger atom spectra Bohr model couldn't explain. The third limitation or the drawback of this model is, it couldn't or it failed to explain Zeeman effect. Okay, this may be a new term. It failed to explain Zeeman effect. What is Zeeman effect? Is the spectral line is split into, it means the spectral lines will be split into many compounds or many components in the presence of magnetic field. Okay, the spectra that we are obtaining for different atoms will be splitted into finer or into many components in the presence of a magnetic field. Why this splitting happens cannot be explained by this Bohr model. That is the limitation. It failed to explain the Zeeman effect. The splitting of components of the spectral lines in the presence of what? Magnetic field. Okay, spectral lines will be split in the presence of magnetic field. That phenomenon is called as Zeeman effect. This effect could not be explained by Bohr model. Next, this model couldn't explain also the Stark effect. Okay, Stark effect. That means the phenomenon of splitting of the spectral lines into what? Fine lines in the presence of what? Electric field. Splitting of lines in the presence of electric field is called Stark effect, and splitting of lines or spectral lines into what? Fine lines in the presence of magnetic field is Zeeman effect. In the presence of magnetic field, if the lines are splitted, if the spectral lines are splitted in the presence of magnetic field, then that phenomenon is called Zeeman effect. And if the lines are splitted in the presence of electric field, that splitting is called as Stark effect. Bohr model of hydrogen atom or Bohr model couldn't explain the Stark effect and the Zeeman effect. Okay. This Bohr model violates Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, and it couldn't explain the spectra of larger atoms, only explain the spectra for hydrogen-like species. And the third limitation is, it couldn't explain Zeeman effect, that is splitting of lines in the presence of magnetic field, and also failed to explain about Stark effect, that is splitting of lines into finer lines in the presence of electric field. Okay, these are the main 4 limitations of Bohr theory of hydrogen atom. So dear students, in today's class we studied about 5 postulates of Bohr theory of hydrogen atom and also its limitation. If you have any doubt, you can comment below. I hope it's clear for you. Thank you and have a nice day.